My name is Jennifer O'Neill. I'm going to call this meeting of the Economic Development Commission to order. The time is 7:01. And if you could all join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Attendance, I see that we have Dan Romino, John Bucciarelli. Here. Excellent. John Barron, Joan King, Mary Corsu. Here. Frederick Muscola. Here. Jennifer O'Neill, Fran Owen, Amy Smith. John Turk for the Southbury Business Association, and Jack Cesaro for the Tribury Chamber of Commerce. Excellent. So we do have 100% attendance tonight. There will be no need to seek the alternates for purposes of a vote. First order of business is approval of the June minutes. First, can I ask for a motion to approve the minutes?
I make the motion.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? And I do have one item. I was contacted about the minutes as they were posted on the website and asked to clarify whether the discussion of the CLG update blight ordinance addressed anything other than commercial properties from the EDC perspective. The minutes reflect that the possibility of adopting a town blight ordinance was discussed in the last CLG meeting, where CLG is certified local government, and that materials were discussed about the enactment of blight ordinances. The question was, did the EDC recommend the establishment of a blight ordinance for residences? And I believe it is correct to clarify this to say that the EDC's discussion was with respect to businesses, because we had been told by businesses on occasions about their concerns about blight. Is there a motion to amend the minutes to reflect that the discussion pertains solely to businesses?
I make the motion.
Second? Okay. All right, so motion to approve the minutes as amended. In favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The June minutes will be approved with that modification. All right, for the treasurer's report, we have a budget. We are in the new fiscal year. Our budget of $8,050. We've not yet spent anything, so we still have $8,050. We do have the end-of-year report for June 30th. There had been a line item of $1,000 that had been erroneously charged to the Economic Development Commission. That $1,000 was corrected, and there's an item here where it went back to escrow funds, which I'll get some more clarification, but in any event, it's no longer charged against the EDC. So the end of the year, we charged $1,644.32 for the total cost of the EDC, leaving the unspent total of approximately $8,300, because we had opted to pay for the economic development consultant in the next fiscal year instead of the previous fiscal year to give time for the RFP. Any questions on the treasurer's report?
Just to clarify, it doesn't go into an escrow fund, it goes back to the general fund.
That's the clarification I was wondering, because it says escrow funds on the report, so that's why I will seek clarification with Mr. Swansky. Great, thank you.
Jennifer, can you restate the total spent?
Yes, total expenditures for the last fiscal year, end of year, was $1,644.32. The EDC has a budget for the current fiscal year of $8,050.50, and to date, we do not have any costs against this amount. All right, old business, or perhaps more appropriately, unfinished business. First of all, the Southbury Film Festival and Southbury Film Commission. Ann, did you have any updates?
We had our meeting in July, and we discussed our members go around and take pictures, videos of the town, put on our website, and to give to the state. So we're going about trying to figure out some kind of ID, because we've got people stop us and where you take pictures. And I think the selectmen's office is working on some kind of photo ID. Also, I received a phone call on Friday from
Yeah.
Sorry.
Make sure you turn it on.
There you go.
On Friday, I received a phone call from Mark Dixon at the Connecticut State Film and Digital Media Department, and he would like to have a production company come into town to do some filming at, can I say where it is?
Sure, but,
Is that
as
okay?
I know, but nobody's invited.
Yeah, no one's invited. But they'd like to film at our jail at the Southbury PD.
I'm gonna take that back.
Please don't show up. The film is called Those Who Wandered. It's an independent comedy about growing up, figuring out yourself, and getting lost along the way. There's 2 young actors that will be shooting with the production company on Wednesday night from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And all approvals have been made. So we're excited that our film commission is starting to get people to come in and shoot film.
Great.
So that's it.
Terrific, thank you, Ann. Next item, status of the Naugatuck Valley Corridor Economic Development District Municipal Investment Questionnaire. Definitely be an acronym for that. John, I remember this was an item that we had on the last agenda because we were trying to track the status of what applications, if any, had been filed for this year. So I met with our first selectman, and that's something that his office is investigating to see if we in fact did file any applications for the brownfields grants and funds. And obviously, if you have any updates.
No, I don't. Other than the corrections we also talked about that were in the prior reports that really need to be corrected.
Okay. The CT PACE workshop, this concerns the new financing program that will be available to clean energy projects in the town, and that's going to be primarily the commercial focus. There are some multi-tenant dwellings that qualify as well. We do have a consultant from the state agency, Sepia. John Turk and I met with them about 3 weeks ago, as well as a larger team from the state agency. They will be working with the Southbury Business Association and the Tri-Berry Chamber of Commerce to schedule a workshop to which all commercial businesses and property owners in Southbury will be invited. This is a pretty exciting project, and as some of you have heard about before, but if you have either a new building that you're going to construct, or you want to do renovations to an existing building, and it would improve the energy efficiency of your building, there is now a way to do long-term financing by essentially having that tacked on to your property tax bill. That would be facilitated by the town of Southbury. Sometimes these projects are otherwise unaffordable, but this gives you another opportunity for the financing. So look for more information on the workshops as we schedule that date. The next item, the commercial MLS project. A couple of years ago, the Economic Development Commission had and maintained a website that posted available commercial space in the town of Southbury. We provide basic information as well as the realtor listing, a photo of the property. That was taken down due to lack of resources. We did not have the volunteers to keep that going. The IT resources were also not available at that time. We are fortunate enough to have recommenced that. Currently in the process of reviewing the web content, and that should be launched very shortly. So again, that will be the equivalent of a commercial MLS listing, which you can reach from going to the Economic Development Commission website. If you do have commercial space that you're renting or want to make available, please contact us. If your listing is not already there, we will post it for you. And this is the only commercial MLS that we're aware of in this area, so hopefully it will prove to be a valuable resource. The Buddy program, next item. This is a program that's been under consideration by Southbury Business Association, Tri-Berry Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Commission, as well as Accenture, which is a technology company for whom I happen to work. The concept is reaching out to not only the Santee Hook businesses, which are still suffering as a result of the tragedy last December, but partnering with Southbury businesses in a one-on-one marketing relationship, purely voluntary for the members that wish to participate, so that they could come up with joint marketing, advertising, promotional efforts, and Accenture has already approved this as a community citizenship project. So there will be resources and personnel available to help small businesses thrive, learn social media, learn other things that they can do to get the business into the area. Again, this is something that will benefit both Southbury and Sandy Hook equally, and I think be a great chance for us to expand the reach of Southbury to our neighbors, as well as make our businesses much more accessible to them. So the buddy program, just learned, was approved by the Tri-Bury Chamber of Commerce unanimously. It was approved by the Southbury Business Association. We do have the documentation now that this will be working with a tax-exempt organization, will be the sponsor through Tri-Bury. And then Sandy Hook for Prosperity, which is an organization of small business owners in Sandy Hook, will be enrolling volunteers on their side as well. Final item of unfinished business, we had discussed in May and then the end of June, and approved the funding of an economic development consultant to assist Southbury in structuring various options for what we call New Corporate Park, in terms of first evaluating the area, the infrastructures that is there, the cost of that infrastructure, and coming up with what I would call a Chinese menu of options, and then helping us to understand what the typical developer would expect in terms of tax abatements, credits, assistance with the infrastructure, and other options. Mary Corso and I met to discuss the format of that RFP. That has been drafted about 80%, and that is going to be issued out for bid in accordance with our town's procurement policy. Following that, the EDC is going to be sponsoring, together with the Board of Selectmen and the Planning Commission, a public forum where we would like everybody to come in, much like you are today, and we might need a bigger place, so that we can get your thoughts and opinions on what you want to see and what issues are important to you in the long-term economic development of Southbury. A discussion that goes beyond the corporate part, but this is an important part of it, and we want to make sure that you have some of the information on hand to help us all make some good decisions going forward. Okay, I have a hunch that we may have most people present for the first item of new business. So, on the agenda, it is the post office land project. I think we've otherwise referred to, you'll hear about the movie theater project. This first came to light with the Board of Selectmen meeting in July 18th, and since then, the developers and those associated with the project wanted to come forward to the public. This is really the first opportunity that the public has had to hear what the discussions are, that in fact they're in the very early stages of the project. I think you're going to get some pretty exciting information tonight. There's probably, I know there's a lot of new content that I haven't seen